I know. It's been a very long time. It's only after 2 days. But the thing is that I was so busy. Not so busy, but like I was just too lazy on some other works that I didn't focus on this thing. The reason was that these. Okay, I'm too afraid of saying anything because what I think is there is a neighbor and who is talking to someone else. But I'm also thinking that he might be hearing my words, what I'm saying, what I am preparing the words, what I'm doing. It might be feeling weird, but at the end I have to do this. In any other cases, in any other circumstances, I have to do this. Even imagine if I would be somewhere else and there might be thousand people in that place or in their circumstances, I have to adapt in that way. Otherwise it would be very kind of very difficult to perform any kind of act. And that's why I'm using the hard sentences right now, because I know that they don't know English as well as I know. But the thing is that the thing is that there's a very less chance that they know, they would want to know the high level kind of a vocabulary that Sashi Tharoor use. Imagine I am speaking now Sashi Tharoor voices, like the vocabulary that he uses. It would be kind of a very high level thing. You know what I did is I often use the AI tools, and I ask the AI tools that okay, you are giving me the answers. Give me those answers in the academic way, so I can have the sense of the academic writings, how they write the papers, how their words are, how they consume those words. Like the more bizarre any word becomes, the more the idea it has. So that's why vocabulary sometimes hard vocabulary gets very frustrated, because we want a simple and one sentence or one word meaning of that word. But in a true self, that word would be a meaning of a topic, of an idea that developed by something else. In philosophy I know a lot of words: skepticism, humanism, nihilism, solipsism, which I also follow, and I also adapt too many years ago. Too many years ago now, just a few months ago, and I'm still not sure about the solipsism. But there's nothing like I can choose the existentialism. But the problem is that I can't divert my mind by thinking that okay, there is a solipsism and I would be the character and I am the character of that thing if I believe firmly in the solipsism. So in that way, I can get the chance to escape the nihilism, the existentialism, or any kind of a thing, any kind of a the example of the Descartes, how he introduced that there would be the demon who would gonna misbehave with me, going to place different kind of things that I see as things, but they might be untrue. So in that way, for me, the solipsism is a great thing, and it's kind of a note thing that the first solipsistic person was the sophist. I forget the name, but I developed this idea independently. I was reading the Sophist World, and while reading that book, I get the idea that okay, there's a existentialism, there is a this, there is a that, and what should I have to pick, or if I'm gonna pick these kind of things, these are the problems that I'm gonna have. And if I'm gonna pick the solipsism, at that time I didn't know this was a solipsism, but I know the basic idea. So if I'm gonna pick that solipsism, it would be very good to exhibiting those things, or getting the exist by those things. And I get them. Georgius, the philosopher, the sophist, he proposed it. Okay, so I'm also a solipsistic, but also I'm a idealistic person who believes that everything is becomes or generated by the ideas. It's not any kind of an independent thing. It also very kind of a, you can interlink with the solipsism. So at first time when I read the Georgius the sophist, he also talk about the okay, you see the world, but the world is driven by the ideas, which is you, and only you is the one person who does everything, who thinks everything, and all the around us that going on is all up to you. There's the same thing Descartes talk about, and there's the same thing that Joel Berkeley talk about. So in that way, I it's very great, and I'm a materialistic person in with talking about the affection, how much affection you have with the materialistic. But in talking about the independent thing, when we talk about the okay, is materialism independent thing, or the idealistic thing is independent? I would prefer the idealistic thing, and I think that whatever we know about the idealistic philosophy is too much better than the materialistic philosophy, because there is a materialistic philosophy. We know a lot of things, we know the properties of the materialist things, but even though there is a connection between the idealist philosophy that derives the materialistics, and there is a dream example of that thing which is a very great example. So in that way, I would not bother to choose the idealistic philosophy. And George Berkeley is a kind of a person, like to be is to be perceived is a kind of a admirable thing in philosophy that everybody has said. And also I think that I think therefore I am is a very great thing. And also I got the main basic thing of the philosophy, which is the unexamined life of not worthy living by the Socrates, and it perfects him very well. And that's why, like, I was confused with that, why he was the father of the philosophy. And I got the answer that, okay, and this is the basic core of the philosophy. Philosophy is all about asking questions, getting the answers. And I was talking to a person, he was he asked me, okay, what is philosophy? I tell them, okay, this is philosophy, asking questions. And the literal meaning of the philosophy is also the same, wisdom of the questions, uh, or the love of the questions, that how much you love the questions, how much you affectionate with the answers and the questions that you get. And these are the things, like, if we are going to observe all the philosopher, the same thing that they have done is the asking questions and getting the answers. He was not convinced. He told me that it is a kind of a subjective thing. It can't be the subjective thing. The thing is that even if you are thinking that okay, it is not a subjective thing, you giving the opinion to those kind of things, and in those opinions you have some uh, perspective, you have some cautions, queries that you have in your mind. You might be not reluctant to bring those things in the reality, in by your mouth, by your words, that other can listen. So in that way, others don't know, but in your reality, in your mind, you know that okay, might be these are the opinions. And when you use the might be, these are the opinions, there comes the philosophy part where you are not sure, but are a skeptic person. And that's the thing, that where philosophy starts the unexamined life, or the anything that you can put in that blank space. So that's the thing. And I can talk about the other things, but what I'm thinking, that my voice is not too high but a little high, and it might be a very kind of a difficulties for others or the neighbors who lives nearby. uh, I don't know, I should have to choose the other room, or but this room is very perfect for me and I'm very comfortable in that room. But who cares about the others? And it's kind of not the kind of thing, like there's a dog who always comes at at 1 p.m. or 2 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and he barks very badly. I got very kind of a very pessimistic about that person, that dog. I don't know, pessimist is a good word for that dog or not, or that situation or not. It would be around a very angrily man. Yeah, this could be bad, this could be good. Very angrily man. And I think if a person saying anything and it's not harming the others, then it would be great. And when we say in sociology, or the sociological context, that it's a harming people, it's not about the saying anything in a loud. It's about the words that you are saying. If those words are harming those people, and if you have to be at that loud, so we don't have to look that okay, there's a problem there, that they have a problem in is speaking those things, listening those things, or there's a portion of the speaking thing or the sound pollution that created by the people, it doesn't matter because there is this exists. But the thing is that what you are saying, what you are giving the thing to the society is more valuable than the pollution of the sound. So in that way it would be, I think it would be a great thing. And I can't stop to think or to bother about the other people that they would be bothering about my voices or the things that I'm saying. But I think it's not kind of a bad thing, or it's not kind of a funny thing that I'm doing that they should have to bother about. So I think uh, it's a illogical thing that if even if they are going to uh, start a quarreling about these things, this would be very bad for them and also for the society. It's a kind of a thing that everybody has to do, everybody has a right to do in that way. So it would be a bad thing, or any kind of a person with no mind kind of a work. So yeah, I think that's it.